You know that feeling when you find out there's a specific technical name for something you've been doing your whole life? It's a pretty cool moment. Well, we're about to dive into one of those concepts, a process that's literally happening in your brain right now, and it just might be the key to unlocking the next massive leap for artificial intelligence. This code just nails that feeling, doesn't it? Our entire lives, every single one of us, we've been constantly making meaning out of the world around us without even thinking about it. And once you can put a name to that process, well, that's when you can start to see it and its potential in a whole new light. And that name is semiosis. It's this constant, flowing, active interpretation that lets us get what other people are saying and make sense of everything. And here's the kicker. This very human thing, this semiosis, is right at the heart of a huge hidden flaw in the AI we're all using today. Which brings us to the big question, really. When you're chatting with an AI, is it actually getting the meaning behind your words? Or is it just a really, really sophisticated parrot, just mimicking patterns it's seen before? To figure that out, we have to pop the hood and look at a fundamental flaw in today's AI models. It's what the folks behind this idea call the approximation trap. So this formula right here gets right to the point. That little squiggly line in the middle, that means approximately equals, and that is everything. Current AI takes your words, turns them into a pile of numbers, does a mind-boggling amount of math, and spits out an answer that is only an approximation of what's right. It's always just a highly educated guess. It's not real understanding. And this close enough approach? It leads to some massive problems. The system burns an incredible amount of energy calculating total gibberish, like the hilarious example of the sandwichness of a Tuesday. The industry's fix so far? It's called the faster shovels problem. Just throw more and more computing power at it, hoping to dig a little faster for tinier and tinier gains. Oh, and most importantly, this approximation is exactly why AIs hallucinate and just make stuff up. So here's the bottom line. If you have a system that shatters meaning into a million numerical pieces and only tries to glue it back together at the very end, it can never truly reason. It just can't. You can give it all the power in the world, but that squiggly line is never going to become a real equal sign. Okay, so if throwing more power at the problem isn't the answer, then what is? Well, it takes a totally different way of thinking. We have to move past simple dictionary definitions and get into the much deeper, more complex world of how meaning is actually made. And this chart here lays it out perfectly. Today's AI is stuck over there on the left, in semantics. That's the static, boring dictionary definition of a word. But where we need to be is on the right, semiotics. That's all about how meaning gets created, on the fly, based on who's talking and what the situation is. It's the difference between knowing what a word means and getting what someone means when they use it. Now check this out. This diagram shows us that semiotics is the bigger picture. You can see it includes semantics, sure, but it adds this other critical piece that today's AI is completely missing: pragmatism. And that is the secret ingredient for getting out of the approximation trap. So, what is this pragmatism thing? Well, it's actually a pretty powerful and simple idea. It says that the real meaning of something isn't its definition in a book. It's the effect it has in the real world. It's about how things work in action. If an AI can focus on those practical consequences, it can finally move from just guessing to actually understanding cause and effect. And all of this leads us to the proposed solution, a brand new foundation for AI called the Semiotic Web. And let's be clear, this isn't about building a faster shovel. This is about designing an entirely new kind of machine, one that's built from the ground up to actually get what things mean. Okay, this is where it gets really cool. At the very core of this new architecture is a switch from tokens to something new called tokums. A token is basically just a number that stands in for a word, and its original meaning gets totally lost in all the math. But a tokum is like a tiny, self-contained package of meaning. It carries its own semantic DNA, so it never ever loses its original context. It's totally traceable, it's dynamic, and best of all, there's no more approximation. It is lossless meaning. And this idea isn't just coming out of nowhere. The semiotic web is literally standing on the shoulders of giants. It pulls in incredible work from people like Tim Berners-Lee, the guy who invented the World Wide Web, and physicist Mark Burgess. It's taking their amazing ideas and weaving them together into something new. So how does it pull off this trick of true understanding? Well, the secret sauce is one word: context. Just like us, the semiotic web gets that what something means totally depends on the situation. And it does this using a really clever three-layer architecture that kind of mirrors how our own brains work. So the first two layers set the stage. First, you've got the Comprehensive Comprehension Cloud, or CCC. Just think of that as all of public human knowledge. The internet, every book, all the scientific papers, the whole shebang. Then there's the Shared Semantic System, or SSS. This is more specific, like your company's private files, or the shared slang your group of friends uses. These two build the foundation, but the real magic is in the next layer. And this final layer, this is the real game changer. It's called the Private Perspective Portal, or PPP. And it is essentially your personal digital twin. It securely holds all the stuff you allow to see, your emails, your notes, your chats, to build a perfect picture of your unique point of view. It knows what you know, and it knows what you value. This is what allows for true, deep personalization, because it doesn't just know what's being said, it knows who is saying it.
So, what happens when you put all that together? What does a world with an AI that actually, truly understands you, what does that look like?
This slide puts it all together beautifully. You see the flow, right? Universal knowledge from the CCC, group knowledge from the SSS, they all get combined and then filtered through your personal lens, your PPP. The result isn't a guess based on statistics, it's a genuine interpretation based on real context. This is semiosis, that thing we talked about, finally happening inside a machine. And the practical benefits here are just staggering. I mean, imagine an AI that actually knows you, that can be your perfect assistant because it gets your history and what you're trying to do. Imagine an AI that never forgets a conversation, so you don't have to keep repeating yourself. You'd get answers that are tailored not to your search terms, but to your actual worldview. And it would all be completely secure, with you having total control over your own data. And it goes way beyond just a personal assistant. This whole architecture could create something completely new, the Mindshare Matrix Marketplace. Think of it like an app store, but instead of apps, it's for verified knowledge and ideas. It would create a whole new economy where people could securely license and share their intellectual property in ways we just can't right now. So, if you take away one thing, let it be this. The vision here isn't just about getting a little bit better at matching patterns, it's about a complete paradigm shift, moving AI away from just faking intelligence to actually achieving genuine contextual understanding. This isn't about building a bigger, stronger AI. It's about building a smarter one that runs on an elegant, intelligent architecture, instead of just brute force. And that really leaves us with a pretty incredible question to chew on. What could we actually achieve, as individuals and as a society, with an AI that finally, truly understands us?